So the very first act, once you entered the planet, you did it breathe in. In the last act, everyone has to experience that is breathe out. There are lots and lots of good things happening on this planet. But mind has a tendency to cling on to the negativity. Our worries, botherations, trauma means repetitive thoughts. The old gramophone, the needle stuck in one track, then you listen only one line again and again. The same way, mind, sometimes we stuck in one thing, then thoughts pop up all the time. Of course, it's a loss. Like if you lost your family member, it's painful. But life should not be stuck. If you are sad, remember this. Those who are passed away, they become more painful in their other side of the world.
How we see is like females are more expressive with their emotions as compared to men. A lot of time we think that, oh, men, they don't have emotions. It's not that they don't have emotion. It's like, they don't know how to express. Good morning, everyone. Today we are truly blessed with Divine Soul sitting just next to me. And to be honest, this broadcast will be amazing. And it'll be an eye-opener for a lot of people who are planning to get into spirituality. So we will talk about meditation, yoga, and what difference spirituality can make within ourselves, and what's the need of practicing spirituality. So all these questions we will try to cover in this podcast. We are blessed to have Swami G with us. So Hari Om Swami Ji.
Hari Om, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. So before we start, Swami Ji, can we start with like a little prayer?
Definitely. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So, to be honest, we are truly blessed that you are here in Manchester. So, would you like to tell us a little bit about your childhood and, what made you come into spirituality? Because when I was reading about you, you were born in a Christian family and you were practicing Christianity in your early days, and you were thorough with Bible and, other similar texts. So what made you to get into the spirituality part of it?
It's a long story short. I never searched actually. I never searched spirituality. You rightly said I'm born in a very traditional Catholic family. But early 40s, 14 or 13, teenage time, I've started moving more into left ideology. So I was a voracious reader, nothing to do with religion or spirituality in my life, or it was left brain things. So this is a divine coincidence. I met my Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankarji, in my hometown. I was born in a small town called Thrissur, it's actually in south of India. So I never searched. I saw Gurudev from a distance. Then, that vibration and that transformation happened that very moment. I met him for that. I can't say I met him. I saw him from a distance. Then my journey has really started from that moment.
So what difference you felt before that incident and post that incident? within yourself?
Uh, I would say I'm become more useful for the society, for the humankind. I started involving many social service activities, and I done the art of living, very powerful breathing technique called Sudarshan Kriya. So very transformative, health-wise, personality-wise. It's make you give you strength from within. So sure.
So, art of living, I mean, a lot of people know about it globally because I believe, there are a lot of people practicing all over the world, and it has a very, very deep meaning. So when we talk about, and there are a lot of people who still don't know about art of living. So would you like to express a little bit more about like what art of living is, and Gurudev when he started, what was his motive behind starting art of living?
So art of living is a non-governmental organization. So one of the largest volunteer-based organization in the planet. We closely work with UNESCO, United Nations, World Health Organization. Founder is most respected spiritual teacher in this time. Peace Ambassador, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar Ji. Headquarters in Bangalore, in South India, Bangalore is our headquarters. And we are in 182 countries now. The mission of Art of Living is like stress-free, violence-free society.
Which is very much needed in today's world, to be honest, when we are seeing like people are fighting against each other, even the countries are fighting for dominance, for ego. So I think there's a big, massive role to play.
This has been Gurudev's message, and he's traveling all over the world last 44 years tirelessly. And he helped or transformed almost 500,000,000 people on the planet through various art of living workshops, including Sudarshan Kriya, which I mentioned, the breathing technique. I would highly recommend all of you to experience that. It's one of the best way to enhance the energy level, and stress level goes down, the cortisol levels goes down. It's time tested, millions of people experienced, and basis of science, because many research paper have. So yeah.
So if I ask you, why do we need spirituality in our life? Like, if I'm a doctor, I'm just, earning money, looking after my parents, looking after my family, and living life like, the way everyone else is doing. So why do I need spirituality in my life?
We made up with the two things. One is matter, that is our body, another is our spirit, the energy inside. If you attend only to your physical level, these days mental health is so important. Our being, because we are doing some kind of sport, sometimes jogging or swimming or tennis or golf, all good. But coming to the mind, if your mind is not in the right position, life is a struggle. You might have many things in your life, but at the end of the day, we feel something emptiness, So the spirit, it's in a high. Spirituality means uplifting the spirit. Who doesn't want that? Because that's take you more into the present moment. If your mind is in the present moment, life is a celebration. And we can serve, we can share, we can care. Otherwise, mind has a tendency most of the time thinking about the future. If you start thinking more about your future, we become more anxious. Anxiety comes, then fear comes.
This is absolutely right, because a lot of time, if I see even myself, either I'm thinking about past, what has happened, and start blaming myself that, I shouldn't have done this, or I think about future a lot more. Whereas what's in my present, so a lot of time I miss the opportunity of enjoying my present. So what you are talking, it does make sense, at least to me, that, so we need to live our presence. And do you think like spirituality can help you in living your presence?
Definitely. Because very seldom we come into the present moment. But the children, they have these qualities. You look at the children, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, there is a child here. So active, so vibrant, so dynamic. And they are in the present moment. You cannot see children sitting like this, oh, what's going to happen to me after 1 year or next week. They are in the present moment. We can be in the present moment. At the same time, we can plan. Otherwise, what happens? Most of the time, this chattering mind, noisy mind make you sick and tired. Not because of physical activity. Because we don't know how to quieten our mind. Unfortunately, neither at school nor at home, nobody taught us how to handle our own emotions. Our grandparents many times told you should not get angry, you should not get sad, you should not get frustrated. Okay, very good, but how? How can I come out of this? Because emotions are there, part of our life. Nothing wrong to get angry sometime, once in a while. Anger also part of our life. But if you get anger quite often, then there is no value. It will spoil all our life, right?
Very true. Very true. So when we talk about emotions, how we see is like females are more expressive with their emotions as compared to men. A lot of people, a lot of time we think that, oh, men, they don't have emotions. It's not that they don't have emotion. It's like, they don't know how to express. What you would like to say about is there a gender difference in terms of emotions?
In the Western world, the society, the male or female, they won't express too much. But in India, if you go to the eastern side, the more expressive, we express. Here is maybe because of the weather also matter. I spend lots of time in the Scandinavian countries.
Oh,
yeah, because I have been here in Germany last almost 17 years now. We have an ashram in Schwarzwald in the Black Forest. So we have a silence retreat center there.
Right.
Hundreds of people come every week. More than 1 million people join every year like that. So many people come there. So that's my base. But yeah, in India, right, express sometimes the emotions expresses not in a right time. In the relationship, most of the time, the challenges starts not because of lack of love, because lack of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we don't know how to express ourselves well. Sometimes we are so reserved. Sometimes we are over-expressed. So, through meditation, your perception will change. Broaden your vision. That's what Gurudev always says. Once you broaden your vision about your life, then it can be more, in a better way we can communicate.
Mm-hmm. So you spoke a little bit about Sudarshan Kriya. Would you like to express a little bit more, what Sudarshan Kriya is and how we can practice sitting at home? Do we need to go to a training center for Sudarshan Kriya, or can we do that at home as well?
So in Art of Living, we have a program called the Art of Living Part 1 program. That's a beginner's program.
Mm-hmm.
Art of Living Part 1 course is just 3 days program, 3 hours. In the evening, you normally start 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 6:30 to 9:30 globally, everywhere, literally. So you can contact one of the Art of Living faculties. We have more than 40,000 Art of Living faculties globally. And you can go to our Art of Living website, artofliving.org. You get all the course details. So that contains not only Sudarshan Kriya, there is a pranayama. You learn pranayama, you experience meditation, and some knowledge about the day-to-day life, how to handle I mentioned how to handle our own emotions, because our breath and emotions are connected. I don't know how many of you observe this. Whenever you become more silent and peaceful, you breathe in a different pattern of breath. Whenever you're sad, you breathe very shallow. And whenever you're happy, you breathe in a different way. The same way, whenever you get angry, we breathe very fast, very fast. So if we can give little attention to the breath, we can handle our mind and our emotions. Because the very first act in our life, we did breathe in. Very first act. And the last act we are going to do is breathe out. Some of you think, first act I did it cry. If you want to cry, first you have to take a breath in. So the very first act, once you enter to the planet, you did it breathe in. And the last act everyone has to experience, that is breathe out. Once you breathe in and you cried, your parents, your relatives, your whole people connected to your family, they are all very happy because you're crying, because you're breathing properly. Once you exit from this world and you are breathe out and relax, then what others do? They cry. If they're not crying, you didn't lead a good life. So our life is in between these two breath. So in Art of Living program, you learn pranayama, Sudarshan Kriya. This is very, very powerful breathing technique called. We call the breathing technique called Sudarshan Kriya.
Right. Yeah, that's very interesting, to be honest. And there are a lot of people who would like to practice spirituality, but they are not able to get hold of it, like what to do, where to do, how to start. And to be honest, when we check YouTube and all, there are like so many different organizations, and there are different versions, I would say, or different ways of meditation and practicing yoga. So again, I think it is creating a lot of confusion in people's mind, especially who are completely unaware of spirituality. So what would you like to say to them if they have to enter into spirituality, how they should go about it? What should be the first step?
Through other various platforms, videos, it might help you, but you need a experienced, trained faculty, because mind is so delicate. One who has an experience of at least glimpse of silence, then only they can train you. So better, I would highly recommend to learn from a trained faculty.
And I think, Art of Living, they do like, different programs in different cities as well, periodically. And so I think that might help people if they are like, aware. And
yeah, especially in the UK, we have quite many Art of Living teachers here in everywhere: Manchester, Leicester, London, Doncaster, Chester, Jersey, Guernsey, Belfast, everywhere, literally everywhere. So you can contact her; they will be very happy to help you and can learn from them. Yeah.
So when you talk about like bringing peace and harmony across the world, there's a Sanskrit word called Vasudev Kutumbakam. The word is one country or one nation. Or so, do you like believe in Vasudev Kutumbakam? And how do you think that we need to express ourselves to people this message of peace and harmony?
So Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar Ji organized a World Culture Festival last year, exactly during this time in Washington, D.C., in front of Capitol Hill, the parliament, in front of them, until the Lincoln statue that long distance area. There were more than 1.1 million people gathered to meditate and celebrate the diversity of the world. So people from India, China, then Argentina, from America, Australia, Pakistan, Turkey, Germany, Sweden, Switzerland, from all over the world, people, they came and they celebrate, they share their cultural showpieces like that. So we are working on one word family was then
That's great, because I think that is the only way to stop any war, any discrimination.
war and corruption happens because of lack of belongingness and lots of stress. We don't know how to handle our own stress. These days, you cannot avoid stress because we have only 24 hours, lots of work to do in our life, in our workplace, at home, and social obligations. All together, we have lots of work to do, but very little time, lots of work to do, and low energy. These days, you cannot reduce the workload, you cannot expand the time span, only the possibility to enhance the energy level. Because we are using only 30 to 35% of our lung capacity. We are not breathing deep enough. You know, the COVID situation time, everybody was talking about the lung capacity, oxygen level, because we are not breathing deep enough. But the children, they do. They breathe deep. That's why they have lots of energy. And they are in the present moment. Because we are in a hurry in our life. We learn many things, but we are not learning or giving attention to our own being, our own self. There are 7 dimensions of our life. The first layer of our life is, I would say, body, disease-free body. Second one, breath. Because without breath, no life. As long as the breath is coming in and out, we are alive. We can talk, we can share, we can work, we can care, all that. But if there is no breath, everything finishes. That's the second dimension. The third dimension, I would say, confusion-free mind.
That's very important, I would say, in today's world, because everyone is living in a world of confusion.
Very important. And the fourth one is prejudice-free intellect. Many times we have prejudice about people whom you don't know much about, but we think, oh, this person is going to be like that. Even to the situation, we have some prejudice about people, inhibition about that. So that has to be addressed. And the fifth dimension of our life is memory, trauma-free memory. Something happened 1 month ago, 10 years ago, 6 years ago. It's not there. In reality, it's not there, but not able to let go. We are holding on it and we are suffering with that. So trauma-free memory is very important. And the sixth dimension is ego. Ego means unnaturalness, not feeling at home, and we are disconnected with the people. I am the only person good. I am very special. Others are okay. And sometimes you feel I am not that good. I am not fortunate enough. This is also ego. And the seventh layer is our soul. So sorrow-free soul is our birthright. So if we can give little attention to these 7 levels of our existence, life is in another dimension. I'm telling you, you start practicing spirituality, Sudarshan Kriya. Problems do happen in your life. We cannot run away from the problems. But you feel the solution. You have the solution. And you can handle it with a beautiful smile without losing your smile. So spirituality basically make your life absolute comfort.
That's 100% what you're saying is true. So, do you believe in rebirth and multiple lives?
I'm not believing that is the truth. That's how it is. Because again, you go back to the science. Science says you cannot destroy the energy. You can only transform. So energy cannot destroy. So we change one form to another form.
So, when we, let's say, suppose if we practice spirituality in this life, so how will our next life be? Will there be any connection of whatever we are doing in this life, we can carry forward to our next life?
If you study well in a university, you can pass out with a good grade and you can find a good job. If you are not doing well in the university, that much result you get at the end of the day. Yeah.
So taking this forward, so when we talk about there are a lot of obviously in Hinduism we believe, or that firmly believe that there is a soul and the soul gets rebirth, and based on your karmas in this life, you get your next life, whether it's rich, poor, human or non-human, and but it's only within Hinduism. So when we talk about other religions who do not believe in this, what sort of mindset they will have, then there's for them there's no need of spirituality, because whatever is this is this life, so I have to live life like the way I want to, because there's no second life. So how we can bring them into in this kind of belief, or where they don't think that okay, there's next life?
In spirituality, once you start practicing, you are not concerned about the next birth and next life. You are start living with the maximum potential of your capabilities and abilities in this life. Then the future it will take care by itself. You don't need to worry about the future. You do your homework well. You don't need to sit and concerned about, oh, I'm doing very well, but what will happen? No. You have a certain confidence, right? Yeah, I will be in the right place in the right moment. It doesn't matter. Start living now. That's what we are saying. Yeah. And no need to put a fear inside you. That's what spirituality does. To make you more lighter and take you to the truth. Not there is no space for fear. Is not fear factor in it. Because you have to understand life is very short span of life. How many years? 90 years, 80 years, 120 years maximum.
These days, I think even if people live for 70 years, they'll be lucky.
Little more. Little more. Yeah. Already 20, 30, 40 years passed. Even more. How many more years are you going to be here on this planet? Another 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, then finished. Remember that billions and billions of years passed on this planet. We are talking about 70, 80 years of time. I'm telling you about the billions of years past and billions of years to go to come. And billions of people lived on this planet, on this country, like you and me. Where are they? They are all gone. Now we are here. We are playing our role. But this is not the end. Because the soul, the spirit will continue. So why you are worried about your future? Do your karma, do your actions now. What are you doing? Are you doing a business? 200% with ethics. If you are a bureaucrat, work for the society, support the government, support the society without any corruption. End of the day, you can sleep well. You can smile from your heart.
So what if the entire system is corrupt, and then you have a different
No, this I cannot agree with this. There are lots and lots of good things happening on this planet. Very good things are happening on this planet. But mind has a tendency to cling on to the negativity. If you give 10 compliments and one not that good about you, once you go back, on the way back, what we think? We forget about all the 10 qualities. We cling on to that. Why he told me like that?
Yeah.
We chew it. This is the tendency of our mind. In this world, there are lots of good people, very good people. But the thing is, the good people are silent. Those who have stressed and bit greedy people, they are more active than the peaceful people. So, corruption, yes. I cannot say very well. There are. You can improve. That's how the humanity evolved, to correct something time to time. That's how we are reached here. This is not end of the tunnel. We have to work on it. Spiritual more light. Once one person become more happy and centered in their life, that's what we share and radiant. That's how the society built up. Otherwise, if you start saying, oh, lots of corruption is happening around the corner, there are wars are happening, where is the future? Then what happens? Your energy goes down. So we should not put oil into that fire. And that's why 35-38% of the population in Europe under depression. Because people are watching negativity on the social media or the TV or the any media. People talk about negativity. Lots of good things happening, we never share it. We share negative news, then the positive ones. Now, those who are watching this interview, I would highly recommend you, at least today, you are send at least 5 positive message to your dear and dear ones or your friends. Just send a message, something uplifting them. Their spirit get, wow, they have to smile. Oh, wow, this is good. The world is not a bad place. There are many good things are happening.
And especially if there's a, sour relationship can turn into a much more, loving and caring relationship when you just, randomly message a person saying, oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing in Art of Living Organization. We have a program running in Copenhagen in Denmark. There are more than 8,000 gangsters, mafia members, criminals, murderers. They completely transformed their life. They did Art of Living Part 1 program, breathing technique, Sudarshan Kriya, meditation. They're reading Gurudev's books. They're watching Gurudev's knowledge. 8,000 people they killed for many people. All that. Now they're back and they're leading a good life.
That's a big transformation.
Yeah, we are doing this with the Danish government support. All the media supports. Time to time they publish some very good article about this. Like that. Not only Denmark, we have programs in all over the world. We do program for the prisoners. Yeah.
So, like you said about, trauma-free mind, that is something very, very interesting. And I think in today's world, it's very useful topic as well. Especially like during COVID time when we have lost our young, our loved ones. And a lot of people, a lot of families must have lost their, loved ones. And all of a sudden, so they still have that I would say trauma or that fear or that sadness within their mind, and they are not able to get out of it. So even like it's been 3 years, 4 years, they still have the same kind of mental state. What should they do to get out of that state? Because unless you get out of that state, you can't look into new things because you are still trying to enclose yourself within the same thoughts. So what would you like to say to them?
Our worries, botherations, trauma means repetitive thoughts. The old gramophone, the needle stuck in one track, then you listen only one line again and again. The same way, mind, sometimes we stuck in one thing, then that's pop up all the time. Of course, it's a loss. It's a loss. Like if you lost your family member, it's painful. But life should not be stuck. If you are sad, remember this. Those who are passed away, they become more painful in their other side of the world. So once you start enjoying and give some solace to other people, share and care, that soul get more merits. They feel more comfortable. This is so important. If you are sad, you are not only you are sad, those who are passed away. And do not, everything is Brahman. Right now, inside your body, there are 342 trillion bacteria alive right now. Right now, there is a life inside you. So inside your body is a universe. And they're taking birth and they're dying. And they're playing their roles there in your body. Positive or negative. 342 trillion, maybe 1 or 2 trillion here and there are exact figure. Those who are watching doctors, they can correct 342 trillion bacteria. We are not aware. The funniest part, they don't know you exist. They don't know you. They think that is the universe. We are in the air. We are living in small, tiny planet. Like that, there are billions and billions of planets. There are millions of sun. There are millions of moon. So everything is Shivoham. Everything is that which the consciousness. So, of course, it's a painful. Somebody lost his, okay, you address it, go through it, feel the pain. Do not try to get rid of immediately, but now, after 3-4 years, it's a time to move on in your life. Do not stuck with that. And some people, what they do, they start getting kind of comfort in that. That's not good. You okay, this happened. Now you think of what I can do for myself.
Purposely, they don't want to come out of that thought.
It's becoming another pattern.
Yeah.
So that you have to break it. Good for you, good for your dear and near ones. And those who are past. And this is a recycling place, this universe. This is a universe. So everything is recycling. No need to stack with it too much. That means you don't have that faith in the invisible energy. Because you and me, whoever is watching, we didn't plan to take a birth in 1985 or whatever the year. And we don't know when we are going to leave from this planet. So birth is not in your hands. Death is not in your hands. Then why you worry about too much? Yeah.
We all are surviving, whether we have money, we don't have money, whether we are working, we are not working, we all are surviving.
Not surviving, we have to. Surviving is a different thing. That's a struggle in it. Our nature is joy. Our nature is to celebrate life. Sachidananda Swarupam. You are the bliss, not a joy. Ananda, Paramananda. That's what our nature.
I personally think kids like under 5, maybe 6, the way they live life, we need to start learning from them because, they are in extreme joy when they are happy. There's nothing like, fake emotions in them. So a lot of time, I look at my kids and I feel that, there's something to learn from them.
Not something, everything from them. If you can observe a little baby, you no need to go to any yoga teacher, I'm telling you. Because they do all the asanas. They do trigonas and they do cobra pose, everything they do. So what you have to do? Go back to your innocence, the child-like That's the purpose of spirituality. Take you back to your childlike innocence, sincerity, dynamism, inquisitiveness, to know why, what is this?
Mhm.
I'm not saying childishness, that is different.
Mhm.
Childlike.
Very true.
And you cannot see children sitting like this, oh, tomorrow what going to happen, and oh, will I get a good partner in my life? No, they're in the present moment, always in the present. I think one more question.
Yeah. So, how does the clothes we wear and the food we eat affect our mind and spirituality?
Food, definitely. Whatever you eat, that's what your mind become, your thoughts become. If you eat, for example, lots of spicy food, you bombard with thoughts and the restlessness in your body also. You cannot sit comfortably in one place for even 5 minutes. Spicy food, oily food, deep fried food, it's make lots of discomfort and all that. Lots of sugar. You take sweets, chocolates, ice cream. I'm not saying you have to avoid everything, but in a moderate way, it's okay. But you go to the extreme level, very difficult. And the other part, some food you take, it's make you very lethargic and lazy, very dull. For example, you take yogurt in the morning. You can take little yogurt is okay, but if you take little more, you feel so sleepy. You go to your workplace and you sleep. And sometimes for convenience, we cook food and put it in the refrigerator for 4 or 5 days, and again take it out and put it in the microwave or it's no prana in it. There is no energy in it. You can just fill your tummy. And if your digestion is not good, it's firstly affect your eyesight. Then your mind is very dull. You might have lots of talents, lots of ideas, but if you don't have a commitment, if you don't have the fire from inside, so we should not put that fire down.
Yeah.
Along with the meditation, that's what Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankarji has been spreading this message. A little bit of attention to yourself, these 7 levels which I mentioned, and learn this breathing technique. Anyone or any art of living teacher will support you to learn that.
So all the information is there on your website. Like if I want to see, like in my city.
Definitely. If you go to artofliving.org, you get a UK-based website. In that, all the informations are there. We have various programs, not only for adults. We have a program for youth, teenagers. That's the most challenging time. The teenage time for them also, because of lots of hormonal change, behavior pattern changes. All that for them is a very most challenging time, one life, and at the same time for parents also very challenging time. They don't know how to, So we have a program for teenagers and we have a program for children. It's called the Art Excel program, for like all round in excellence. It's beautiful.
So I would request you, everyone who's watching this podcast or listening this, do go to artofliving.org website and at least experience it. Like join one session, see how it is, and I'm definitely sure that it'll start making changes in your life, in your thought process. And that is what we all need, a bit of calmness, a bit of, stress-free life, and bit of like love and harmony among our friends, among our relatives, and among the people around us. So, Radhe Radhe,
Radhe Radhe. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Om Namah Shivaya.